In this video, we'll talk about centroids of triangles, sometimes also referred to as a center of mass. So before we talk about centroids, let's talk about medians. Now, I'm not talking about the statistical median where we're looking for the number in the middle of a data set. What we're talking about when we're talking about medians as it applies to triangles is essentially we are going to first create a triangle. Let's call it ABC. And then we are going to mark the midpoint of each side. So let's call them X, Y, and Z, and accordingly, they cut each side in two perfectly. Now, the medians of these triangles are where the midpoint, or I guess it's a line segment connecting the midpoint of the opposite side to the angle. So this green segment is a median. So this is one example, and then we could create others as well. So each triangle has three potential medians. Now it turns out there's a theorem for this one as well. So if we recreate our triangle and we mark our midpoints, guess we don't need that one. So the centroid theorem is, or I guess first the centroid is when we have the meeting of all three medians. They will all intersect at a single point, always. And let's call this one P. So if we're looking at this, in particular the centroid theorem is more we're looking at this whole segment, or one of the medians. So it turns out that AP is always equal to 2/3 of the entire median. So in this case, AY. And we can say that about any of these medians. So we can also say that in this case, CP is 2/3 of CX. And BP is 2/3 of PZ, and we could also extend that a little further, and we could say, okay, PY is 1/3 of AY. So there's a lot of math here, a lot of more of a computational advantage to the centroid, in that we can determine distances from a vertex to the centroid, or from the centroid to its opposite side if I continue along the median. Again, more useful in a computational perspective, but still useful nonetheless.